Before this video starts, I just want to let you guys know that I'm not condoning any type of hate, or I'm not asking you guys to go hate on any type of developers or other people in the community. I mainly wanted to make this video because it's something that I've been holding back for a very long time for the past year on making this video, and I finally decided to do it because something that God said in his video that kind of gave me courage enough to stand up and actually say something. You guys will figure out what God said later in this video, so stick around and you'll figure out. Also, throughout this whole video, I'd love for you guys to pause the video, go comment down below your thoughts on something I say or your opinions, things like that. There's no reason to have arguments or anything. Just, you could use this place to talk about things you'd like to see Phantom Forces do, things like that. So go ahead and follow along with the video, comment down below, and just have conversations with each other. Anyways, enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys watch all the way through. Peace out.
What is up, guys? PetriFy here, and today we're going to talk about why I don't really play Phantom Forces that much anymore and why I don't upload it, things like that, because that's a very big question on my channel recently, is where's the PF videos, and I just want to sit here and explain everything for you guys, so today's whole video is going to be about that. Now, I want to give a big shout out to God Status because he actually encouraged me to sit down and talk about all of this, because in the past I never really had the guts to do it. It's not that I was scared, it's just every single time I would say anything about an update not being good enough, or it's literally just the same thing, blah, 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 everybody would just say I'm complaining. It wasn't me really complaining, it's actually like facts that one gun's a copy of the other, or the stats are literally the exact same. It just feels like it's low effort, and people would always say I'm complaining, so I stopped giving my opinions about updates because that's all people would say, it's me complaining. But it wasn't me complaining, it was me telling you guys the truth. But I'm going to leave a link in the description down below to God Status's video about Stylus and everything, and I recommend you guys go watch that. It's very educational, and you guys can get caught up with what's going on with Stylus and why certain updates and things like that have been the way they are. I'm not going to be talking about specifically what he talked about. I'm going to be talking about like how I'm feeling in the community and how the community has changed a little bit, and that's pushed me to this point in Phantom Forces. I kind of want to just explain to you guys how I've been feeling about Phantom Forces for like the past year, and I'm going to show a little part of God Said as a video because he literally said how I feel word by word, and this is what kind of pushed me to actually make this video. So here's this clip. If you guys want to watch this video, there's a link in the description down below.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to keep supporting this game on the level that I try to when it's being proved time and time again that they simply have stopped caring for the most part. It's proven time and time again that the best interest of the game isn't always taken into account, rather than personal motives or things that they want. At the end of the day, Stylus is a multi-million-dollar company. They have made millions of dollars. And to have it treated like some random indie game that has no backing and acting like it doesn't have over 10,000 players on basically 99% of the time is kind of, in a sense, it makes me not want to be related to Stylus at all, and it also makes me feel like that this isn't worth it anymore. I know a lot of people are just completely giving up on this because it isn't worth it, because nothing is worth it, because nothing's changing. I don't know, guys. You can make your own opinion. This is my rant on it all.
Like I said, he explained how I've been feeling about Phantom Forces pretty much word by word at the end of his video. And that really pushed me to make this video because I do want to also explain and kind of rant about how I've been feeling overall. Like I said, go check out his video and go support him, because the only way that we're going to get Phantom Forces to go back to what it used to be is a public outbreak about the game. Now, I'm not saying go send hate or anything like that, but just make it where they can actually hear us, hear what we're trying to say, and hopefully this will fix the issue. I really don't think it's going to, because I feel like Phantom Forces and the developers are way too far gone from actually really caring about the game overall. Anyways, I'm going to try to go topic by topic and try to explain everything one by one at my best ability. I'm not really good at these style of videos, so bear with me. This is the best I got. So let's get this started. My initial plan when I first started playing Phantom Forces and uploading it was to base my whole channel around PF. And the reason for that is because around the time that I was actually committed to all of this and 100% full throttle PF channel, you know, the developers are very dedicated and seemed to be very trustworthy when it came to updates and just how they acted at the time. It really seemed like they're a motivated team to actually push out updates everybody really wanted and to actually be there and interact with their community at the time. And when I do see that's happening in a game with a development team, it really motivates me to actually want to stick around in this game for years to come. But little did I know they were going to pull a little Houdini trick and completely flip the script and go the opposite direction where I was expecting it to go. Now, I'm not saying by expecting push out updates that I wanted, it's not that. It's more or less push out updates that everybody wanted. But let me just give you guys some examples of why I thought this game could be something I could base my whole channel around. When I first started growing on Phantom Forces, I instantly were in communication with the developers. I felt a part of the community and that they really cared about pushing out content for their game. And for me to be in contact with them, for them to message me future updates that are coming very soon so I can make a video on it, so I can help their game grow and also I can grow at the same time. It's like a business where you shake hands with somebody and you guys have a deal, right? And at this time, it was like we had a great partnership where they'll let me know like a week beforehand that there's a new update or a new map coming out so I can be prepared and ready to make this video on this new update. And that was a good thing because at the same time they're actually pushing this thing out, there's a bunch of players already playing it, and then when we push out our videos, the content creators push out our videos, it lets everybody know that this is actually live in the game right now. And it motivates people to go play, it reminds people that Phantom Forces is still updating, things like that. Later on, they actually started joining us in videos. For example, me and Sin would always have Shay in a video every once in a while to kind of advertise something new that's coming to Phantom Forces, and it'll make everybody super hype and seem really cool that they actually care because they were sitting around being there for their updates. Now, I don't expect that anymore, but I at least want them to actually feel like they're putting effort because it doesn't seem like that right now. Updates in Phantom Forces has probably been one of the most complained about recently, and I kind of want to address some of the things so you guys can understand a little bit more when it comes to the updates. A lot of you guys probably already know about all this because there's a lot of people, I'm pretty sure God said us talk about this in one of his videos as well, about guns being copy and paste. And I think almost every YouTuber probably has said that, actually, now that I think about it. It's very obvious. Anyways, when you see a gun update to Phantom Forces, that's usually what we get is a new gun most of the time. Because it's a very quick update that they can throw in real quick because they just remodel the barrel of the gun or the stock of the gun, which doesn't take any longer than 15-20 minutes for our gun builder, which is Shay. He's very experienced, very good at what he does, but there's no longer, it takes him any longer than 15 to 20 minutes to push out a new stock or a barrel for a weapon. Now, it's very clear that most of these guns are copy and paste, and a lot of people started complaining about this more and more. But they still continue to push out updates where guns are a copy and paste. They would just change the stats a tiny bit and say, hey, this is a new gun, call it the AK-101. And it really feels like they're just pushing out those guns to make quick money. Now, I completely understand if the development team needs to make money. I understand that. But you could do it in a better way where it's actually put effort into the game and make a new variant of weapons. We've been in Phantom Forces for about 4 years now, almost going on 4 years, right? And we don't have the rest of the M4 variants, we don't have HK variants, and this game is supposed to be kind of like Battlefield. You need to have M4 variants, you need to have HK variants if you want this to be a Battlefield style. It blows my mind that we don't have a single HK variant in the game. It actually does. And it seems like they're finally, after months and years of complaining about no HKs, they finally put one in the test place for testing. But knowing Phantom Forces, they're not going to release that brand new gun variant into the game, whether it's 5, 6, maybe a year later. Now let's talk about updates that we used to get around 2016, because that was the best year for Phantom Forces in my opinion, because every single 2 weeks there was a new update. Sometimes though it'll be every month, a couple times, but every 2 weeks there is something new or changed in Phantom Forces for the better. Every single update they pushed out back then was really, really good, other than the BFG updates that they did, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there was a lot of controversy when it came to that, but that's besides the point. Every single update that they did in 2016 was things that people wanted. I would say about halfway through 2017 they still did that, but it slowly decreased as the player base dwindled down a little bit because they stopped communicating with their player base and they stopped communicating with their content creators. It's very important that you keep your content creators in the loop. It's very important that you actually interact with your community and actually try to figure out what's wrong with the game. What are people complaining about this week? What are people complaining about that month? What gun stats need to be changed? Caring about these things are very important. We're in a state where Phantom Forces has a lot of high-ranked players, and they kind of understand gun stats at this point. It's very obvious when a new gun comes out, and if it's overpowered, a lot of people are going to be using that gun. And it's very important that the developers actually take time aside and try to work out a balance for that weapon in that week that they released it. And the recent updates that we've been getting in 2018, they'll release a new gun, right? And it'll be like the most overpowered thing you see. Sometimes it'll take them 3 to 4 weeks, which is a month, to actually fix that. Or they'll wait all the way until they actually put out an update, like an actual update, adding a new gun or adding a new map to fix those things. And that's a very poor way to actually treat that. When you release a new weapon in the game and your stats are not exactly perfect with it, and let's say it's a little bit overpowered, you should always have a follow-up update that week after you release that weapon. If a AAA title game like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and God let me say Fortnite, if they release something new, they were consistent with the update that same following week to fix those issues. The reason why it's so important is that because YouTubers and the good players are all going to be using this weapon, making a video about this weapon, and when they make the video about the weapon, it makes the weapon even more popular. And now I'm starting to think that Phantom Forces developers are purposely doing this and releasing weapons on purpose that are overpowered so that YouTubers will make a video like myself, make a video on it to display it. It shows that it's overpowered and that's good, so people will actually buy the weapon. It's a good strategy, but it's not actually balanced, nor does it benefit your community at all. There's a big reason why I don't really do gun updates anymore. There's a big reason why I don't do update reviews anymore, is because I just feel like everything's a money grab at this point. I don't want to accuse them of being very hungry for money, because I feel like they should easily be fine when it comes to money at this point, where they can make a good balanced gun and a good balanced game overall. But it really seems like that at this point. Now, I completely understand that developers need to make money. I always put this in consideration, and I always think about this, and I always tell my viewers, yes, I know this gun's a high rank, and I know it might cost a lot, things like that, but is it worth it? Yes, no. And I understand that sometimes they need money. I will actually advertise a weapon that I feel like is different from others and say this is worth buying if you guys do want to spend credits on it, or if you guys do want to level up and grind for this, you can. But I promise you, the developers will 100% make more money if they put in new gun variants that actually look like they took effort and it wasn't a copy and paste of other weapons. I guarantee you they'll make 25% more money, maybe even 50% more money if they actually put effort into a different style of a weapon. Quite recently, you guys could probably tell I was very specific with certain updates that I did videos on. I only did videos on I felt like that were, 1, not a money grab, 2, were actually a true good change and or a decent weapon, or maybe sometimes I made a video about a weapon that's just a copy and paste, just to kind of get my point out there. But that's besides the point. Now we're going to get into the future updates that I like to see Phantom Forces do. First, I'm going to be talking about the things that I think everybody as a community would want, because I think this is like a very common thing that everybody should be wanting in the game. The first one is being probably one of the most asked for, more ways to earn credits. Please, God, give us more ways to earn credits. Credits aren't that important to me because I was given a lot and I already have everything unlocked. I don't really care that much about camos, anything like that. But that's besides the point. For newer players that are ranked 20, 40, 50, and even the higher ranked players that don't have the benefit of having a bunch of credits, things like that, they have little to no chance of getting camos in the game because, one, as a high rank, if you level up, and you level up and earn credits, by the way, that's the only way you can earn credits, by leveling up. You can only level up, get credits that way. There's no way of unlocking attachments to get credits anymore. That used to be a thing back in late 2017, I believe. You can unlock attachment, you get credits for it. When they released the camos, they kept that in for a little bit longer, but they eventually took it out because they're like, wait a minute, we have so many guns in the game that people can just go use new pistols or use guns that they haven't used yet and unlock attachments and get credits that way. They're like, no cheeky stuff here, and they took that out. I asked over a little over a year ago if they're going to add any other ways for people to earn credits, and I was told multiple times, yes, we have a challenge system planned. And we still have yet to see any details for these challenges. We have to see any updates for these challenges either. There's so many different directions they can take this way of earning credits. There's literally unlimited amount of things that you can think of to make it where people can earn more credits. First of all, you can make it where when people level up, it actually buffs up the amount of credits that you earn. So let's say somebody that's a rank 150 and they finally get 151. Give them a boost in credits for leveling up. That takes a while to level up at that type of rank. They should be rewarded for all their hard work. Every single shooter game should have that type of system in it. Like, for example, Fortnite. You level up, you get rewarded, all right? I hate bringing up Fortnite, but they are literally the superior of being rewarded for actually hard work. Fortnite does that perfectly. At this point, throw a season pass in your game. Every game's doing it at this point. Just throw a season pass. I honestly don't care if it's a copy of Fortnite. At least you're going to be working towards something. You know what I mean? You can even add a challenge system in the game, which would fit the game perfectly. A daily challenge, a weekly challenge, a monthly challenge. Each one of these will give you an increased amount of credits. The weekly challenge could be like, this week, get 500 headshots, and you're going to get 2,000 credits. You know what I mean? Like, it should be more than that, but that's just my opinion. But there's so many different directions they can really take this whole earning credits system and not really put that much effort into it either if they really didn't want to put effort in it. Because it seems like the updates recently, other than the site update, that was a good one. That's the only good update we had, but a lot of people had a lot of problems with that. I think it was a good idea because it felt refreshing and it was something new. I don't know if everybody else agrees with the site update, but I felt like that was a good one. But if they really didn't want to, they don't have to put that much effort in it. It does not take long to script a whole challenge system. I promise you that. I talked to my scripting friends. Obviously, you guys know I'm friends with developers. I talk to all of them, and I always ask, like, how long does it take to do this? How long does it take to do this? I do that because I want to know how long it would take Phantom Forces to actually implement this type of stuff into their game. And it won't take long at all. It really won't. The next update I actually want to mention is double XP once a month, or even double credits once a month if they add in a new credit system in the game, of course. Double XP makes more sense because you earn XP by getting kills, and if you double it, you're getting double XP. Now, this is something they could have been doing years and years ago. They literally, all they need to do is up the XP multiplier. That's all they have to do. Up the XP multiplier. Please, just do something to make people want to play the game again, man. There's really not much to it. Double XP should have been implemented years and years ago, where you do it monthly or maybe twice a week or something, just to bring players back in and give them a reason to play again, to grind for new levels, and not having to play for 10 hours plus to level up when they're a super high rank already. Double XP is just a really fun event that Call of Duty has been doing for years, and it's always been a huge thing. It will also be a huge thing when it comes to Phantom Forces as well. It will make all these low ranks excited to play the game again. It will make everybody excited to play on weekends. It's just something very simple that they could do, and it doesn't take any time at all. This next update really isn't like 100% like a community thing. It's more people that has watched my videos in the past and heard me talk about this that are interested in this. But I feel like it's a pretty popular thing that some people would be really interested in, so I'm going to put this in the community part of the updates and not something I personally want. But I think it'll be fun to have anyways. So I've been saying this for a couple months now. I would say about 6 months now. I had this idea. I had it before that as well, but I had this idea where they could just make a fun little mini game like Gun Game, for example. Now they can either implement this into the game modes and people can vote for it. Since there's a vote system now, it wouldn't hurt to do that. Or they can put a little tab under the create a class system where it says mini games and you click Gun Game and it'll load you into a separate lobby that's literally Phantom Forces, but they modified it a little bit where you get one kill and it swaps a weapon and you continue on, and the last person to get the last gun will win the game, obviously. Just adding something like that where you can always play it, not just a little event thing, or not something where it just only there for a little bit and it's gone. Something that's always there and it's optional for everybody to play, whether they had to vote for it or if they had to click the tab to go play Gun Game. I think it will benefit them if they made it into a separate game and they added maybe a couple game passes or a couple things that you can buy, or maybe even a whole new earnable camo system in that game. And if they really need money, that's a way you can do it. You can make it practically the same as that game, connected to each other, but a little bit different in the same way, whether it's mini games or if it's another camo system or something. Now, these last updates that I'm going to talk about is something I personally would like to see in Phantom Forces, and maybe some of you guys would be interested to see it as well. I know this stuff that I'm going to say is a little bit off track from PF, but some of them is on track with PF that could actually change the game and make it fresh again. Now, the first thing I want to mention is a whole new UI system. I really want to see PF go in a better direction for the way the UI is right now.
I think they can make it much more simplistic and make it look way better than it currently is at the moment. We've been rocking pretty much the same UI overlay for the past, since like day one of the beta pretty much. They just changed the colors, made it look tiny bit better, and changed a couple other things, but that's about it. I really think that if they made a new UI system, a new health system, made it look a little bit better, it actually might be more pleasing to play the game a little bit and might feel a little bit more fresh to everybody. Not only that, adding a new kill indication pop-ups would be awesome to see. Whether it's headshot pop-ups like they do in Call of Duty and a couple Battlefields, I think they have like metal pop-ups for certain things. I think doing something like that will make the game more pleasing for kills, or even making a new XP pop-up system at the bottom of the screen when you get a kill. I'm pretty sure at this point, people really don't pay attention to that anymore, and it's something that should be very detailed and make it feel pleasing when you get kills, but it's been so long since anything has changed for that, and it's really, nobody really pays attention to XP pop-ups anymore when you're playing the game. At least I don't, and I'm assuming other high-ranked players don't care for it either. But having headshot sounds and all of that makes the game more pleasing overall. I have told this to multiple different FPS games, and eventually they did have added headshot indications, whether you hear a sound or you see a red hit marker. PF did a red hit marker. They did all of that, and it makes it instantly more pleasing to go for headshots. It makes it more pleasing to actually try to get high kill games if you have metal pop-ups or if you're rewarded with the challenge. It's just those little things that make a game much better and more grindable, I guess you could say. I don't want to go for every single triple title game and give you guys examples, but the best way to give you guys examples is by telling you about another game that has done it. It's common sense now that you do have XP pop-ups, or if you have metal pop-ups when you get kills. Whether it's from Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc., it's a common thing to have. In my opinion, Call of Duty, Treyarch to be specific, the Black Ops series has the greatest kill indications of all time in my opinion. They look pleasing to the eye. They feel great when you actually do something in the game, whether it's a triple kill, a multi-kill, a headshot, a kill chain. It goes on and on. The endless amount of medals that you can earn in that game just keep going and going. In my opinion, that would look amazing for Phantom Forces, and maybe you guys will agree or you will disagree. If you disagree, I completely understand that you guys want it to be mainly a Battlefield style kill indications. Which Battlefield still, I think it was Hardline that did metal pop-ups for certain things as well. Hardline wasn't very popular, but it was one of my favorite Battlefields. But I'd love for you guys to leave comments down below, your thoughts on my certain updates that I'd like to see. I do have a couple more and things like that, but those are the main ones that I really wanted to mention, and I felt that might be something you guys like to see in the game overall. I do want to mention like Agent John and Synthesize OG, so that you guys always remember they were always in the community for Phantom Forces. But I'm pretty sure eventually they just couldn't handle it anymore with how Phantom Forces is going and what direction it was going, and they just didn't really want to upload content anymore. Sin's still around, but he only uploads videos every once in a while, and it really seems like he's trying to see if Phantom Forces has changed any at all since the last time he actually played it and was dedicated to making videos on it. And I think he's kind of decided right in the middle, waiting until it does change something. And we'll see if like these videos that people are making now about Phantom Forces and Stylus, seeing if it will change anything, and see if they'll be more dedicated to the community and maybe do more community stuff. And it might make Synthesize come back, and maybe even Agent John. I don't want anybody to forget Agent John. He's one of the greatest content creators when it comes to Phantom Forces. He was one of the most unique content creators as well. And he also left for similar reasons to Phantom Forces. He mentioned in his goodbye video about PF and all that, and the direction I was going, he wasn't really liking it. I hope we do see him return at some point in the future, whether it's for just the summer or whether it's for a couple weeks. I would love to see him make some videos again, and hopefully we see some changes come to Phantom Forces in the near future at some point. There is plenty of other YouTubers out there that aren't the biggest, but they have been taking breaks from Phantom Forces, I'm assuming for these same exact reasons that I explained today. There's several other things that's going on with Phantom Forces that I don't want to try to complicate you guys with. If you guys want to learn about those things, you go to God Status's video. He talked about the more complicated things, whether it's for connection or what's going on for internet connection and delay and all that. I don't want to get into all that. Ping issues, you can go to watch God Status. He explains it all, showcases exactly what's going on, things like that. You guys can go watch that video to understand all of that and what's going on for Phantom Forces on the connection side of things, and plenty of other reasons to watch that video as well. So like I said, hopefully Phantom Forces starts to hear us, Stylus starts to hear us, and some minor changes happening. If honestly, if we get one update out of everything that we said in this, and it's double XP once a month, I feel like we accomplished something, guys. We actually got to them, and they decided to do something that's more rewardable for everybody. Now, it really doesn't matter to me for double XP, but I know it matters to the players that do play this game on a daily basis and that absolutely love this game. I used to be one of those players, and eventually got repetitive for me where I couldn't play anymore. I still try to upload as best content as I can for Phantom Forces. I know my content has been very, very minuscule, I guess you could say. I haven't really been doing anything different. I haven't really been try-harding in games anymore. It's just for the fact that I just don't feel motivated towards the game at all anymore. But I'm still going to make content on the game because that's what you guys enjoy. And also, I still have this slight hope for Phantom Forces to change in the near future. So I hope that this does somehow change something in the update path that we're going down, and it makes the game better overall. And yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you guys for the support recently. I love you guys. Peace out.